We're talking trash this Sunday morning, plastic trash. From the title board to the furniture, there's plenty of potential plastic waste right here on our set, including this container that holds my iced coffee. What to do with all this plastic if we ever had to replace it? Our cover story is reported by John Blackstone.
To anyone who's truly green at heart, it's an exhilarating sight. Tons and tons of paper, plastic, glass, and who knows what, working its way through a mountain of belts and gears and gizmos. At San Francisco's Central Recycling Plant, more than half of everything the city throws away gets separated, classified, and bundled for sale.
We like to say life's a mess and we sort it out.
Recycling is a point of pride to Robert Reed of NorCal Waste Systems. When it comes to giving garbage a second life, no American city does it better.
See that Safeway bag wrapped around the screen?
But not every item is welcome here. Take, for instance, those ubiquitous plastic shopping bags.
They're very light, they float around, they get twisted around things. They're one of the most difficult things to recycle.
The result? It costs more to process the bags than can be earned from selling them. So they're simply trucked off to be buried. And while a few flimsy bags don't much, they add up. Americans consume an estimated 100 billion of them every year.
You want to go for it?
So many bags, they seem to grow on trees.
Oh, there we go. There you go.
Which is why in northern New Jersey, Bill McClelland and Ian Frazier invented this device, the bag snagger.
It's annoying to see a bag in a tree. It was a sort of a sport. It was something to do for fun.
You got it.
And something to do for the environment.
Beautiful.
Blowing in the wind have become a litter problem nationwide.
You see a bag in a tree, one bag, and you notice it and it bugs you, and you can get that bag out of the tree, you suddenly see this tree just kind of come back to life. You feel like, you know, you've really made a little dent in the problem.
It's a problem that's pretty clear when you see how much we send to the dump. Each of us generates more than 1,600 pounds of garbage every year. That's more trash per person on Earth. And much of it, from those plastic bags to plastic water bottles to plastic packaging, is, well, plastic. As some see it, our love affair with plastic has turned us into a throwaway society. It wasn't always like this. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, when it came to trash, practically nothing went to waste. Everything from rags to scrap metal to manure found a second use. Recycling was true way, says author Heather Rogers.
Disposability and the way that we dispose is a learned behavior. We've had to be taught how to do that.
In her book, Gone Tomorrow, Rogers argues that today's attitudes toward trash took root in the post-war boom, when plastics were promoted as a new wonder material, cheap, versatile, and disposable.
One of the first disposable plastic items was a rigid plastic cup that was dispensed in vending machines that sold coffee and hot chocolate. Their drink, they had this cup left over that they clearly recognized could be reused. And a discussion erupted in the plastics industry trade press about how do we convince consumers that this product that clearly can be reused is garbage.
I just want to say one word to you. Just one word.
Yes, sir.
Are you listening?
Yes, I am.
Plastics.
Presenting the possibilities.
Decades since The Graduate parodied the phony or plastic values of American society, plastics really have taken over. Just look around and try to imagine a world without them.
The last 40 years have been good for plastics industry, but the plastics industry has been very good over the last 40 years for society as well.
Greg Babe is chairman of the plastics division of the American Chemistry Council. Recently, the industry the relatively low percentage of plastic recycling. Well, close to 3/4 of cardboard boxes and nearly half of aluminum cans find new uses. Only about 1/4 of plastic bottles and just 5% of plastic bags get recycled.
We believe that this is not a material problem, it's not a plastics problem, it's a behavioral problem. We don't, from that, then step away and say we have no responsibility. We know that we have a responsibility. Is to help to educate the consumer, and is to ensure that as we recycle more and more of these plastics, that there are going to be products in which we can use them.
BABE predicts the rising costs of oil and natural gas, the raw materials of plastics, will encourage manufacturers to use more recycled content without the need for new laws. But right now, we seem to be finding more and more ways.
1 out of every 3 servings of water now comes from a bottle in the United States. And this is apparently how we're increasingly hydrating ourselves, with these big packs of petroleum-wrapped water. Here's something you see more and more of these days.
Author Dan Imhoff believes far too many things come wrapped in plastic. His book, Paper or Plastic, takes aim at what he considers over-packaging. Big part of the global economy. Low-priced imports are protected by all that plastic for shipping, and the big boxes make them both attractive on the shelves and too bulky to shoplift. It stops somebody walking out of the store with it, though.
It certainly does, and it certainly catches your eye. But what are you going to do with it when you get it home? I mean, if you safely can get this thing open.
So that's it. Struggle to get this open, then it goes into the trash.
Trash. It's going to be around for 1,000 years.
Indeed, when plastic is thrown away, it doesn't just go away. Far out in the Pacific Ocean, where currents carry floating waste, plastic is now more plentiful than plankton.
Basically, it's a bottle cap.
Along coastlines, seabirds are turning up dead, their bellies literally stuffed with plastic. In landfills, there are concerns as plastic decomposes. All reasons why just last week the city government of San Francisco announced it would stop buying bottled water. And remember all those bags? San Francisco's leaders have calculated that a plastic bag, which costs a supermarket just a penny to buy, costs the public 17 cents to deal with as litter. So the city has moved to ban them from big chain stores. Biodegradable bags made from cornstarch. Ironically, plastic bags were first introduced as an earth-friendly alternative to paper bags. So the whole discussion has left many shoppers wondering just how to respond when asked,
Paper or plastic? Really, the easy answer is neither. Neither paper nor plastic. Bring your own bag. Bring something that's reusable. Have a whole stash of these reusable bags. You'll give them to your grandkids. They'll last forever.
They may thank you because, as we've seen, little things have a way of adding up.